Hi everyone! No one's joined yet, but I'm gonna wait for you all. We're gonna be doing a Game of Thrones quiz. And if you can guess who I am, that's great. So we're doing a live stream Game of Thrones quiz this evening for the NHS. So if you're joining us this evening, make sure you go to our event page and click on our Just Giving link where you can donate to the NHS, however much you like. A dragon, who knows? Let me know who's here, who's playing. We'll wait for a few more people to join us and then we'll get going. Hope you've all caught up on Game of Thrones before this, because when I was doing the quiz, I realised how much I'd forgotten. Think of team names. If you joined us last week for our Harry Potter quiz, you know that I love a good pun. So let me know your team names, let me know who you're playing with, send me loads of pictures, and we'll get started very shortly. Make sure no one's poisoned the wine before you play. Welcome everybody. We're getting some more peeps in now to our Game of Thrones quiz. If you haven't already guessed, I'm Circe, or Cersei's evil twin, Sir D. Make sure you go to our event page, click on the link, and donate to the NHS, because that's what we're doing this for. A team has no name. I like that. I like that one. Let me know what other team names you've got, guys. Some Game of Thrones puns are greatly appreciated. Send me pictures of your teams. We'll get started shortly. There's going to be 8 rounds to the quiz. Same as last week. If anybody did the Harry Potter quiz, give me a shout. So there's going to be 8 rounds. And lucky for me, there's 8 seasons. So each round is going to be based on each season. Mainly it's predominantly based on the series, not the books. Because I haven't read the books. Well, I've read one. And then watched the series. Team name, no egrets. Egrets? I think you were playing for regrets. I like that. And we're going to get going very shortly, so get all your pens and papers out. Going old school on the quiz. Who's your scribe? All of the questions are going to be posted in this comments board. Is that what you call it? Comments board? So if you've missed a question, you can always go back and look at it on there, and all the answers will be posted on there as well. As it's Easter weekend, I do have a dragon egg that I'm probably going to eat after this, so that'll be a nice little treat for me. Who else have we got watching? Yeah, we do currently have £156 raised for the NHS from last week. Let's see if we can push it over to 200. So if you are playing, we ask that you give £2 per person as a standard quiz. But whatever you can would be great. Let's give them more than just claps, because they work insanely hard. If you're playing the quiz, hit that love button. Let me see how many teams I've got, because we're going to start very, very shortly. And if anyone's dressed up or got any Game of Thrones memorabilia, I'd love to see it. So for those of you who just joined, we're going to be doing a Game of Thrones quiz. It's going to be 8 rounds based on each season of Game of Thrones. And if you're playing with friends, if you're all on house party, send me some photos. Or Zoom, everyone loves a bit of Zoom now. Oh, my banner's falling off. And we are doing this for the NHS, guys, so go to Quarantine Quizzes. We're going to do a quiz every single week. At the end of this quiz, I'm going to announce what the next quiz is going to be, so stay tuned for that. Someone's got a tattoo. Please show me. What is the tattoo of? Is it of Tyrion? I hope so, because he's my favourite. Who's your favourite characters? Right, if you're all ready, say aye. And we're going to get started on this quiz. If everyone can hear me, if everyone's got all their tech running. We're going to do 2 rounds and then do the answers. And we've got 8 rounds to go based on each season. So cast all of your minds back to Game of Thrones Season 1. And if we're ready, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to start. If everyone's got their wine, I know I have. We're going to start with Season 1, Game of Thrones. 10 questions based on the first season. Are we ready? Here we go. Question 1 is: which castle was the predominant setting for the very first episode? We're starting easy. Which castle was the predominant setting for the very first episode? If you know the answer, hit like. I want to see how hard or easy these questions are. So which castle was the predominant setting for the very first episode? Question 2. Tyrion's trial by combat at the Vale sees him win thanks to who? Tyrion's trial by combat at the Vale sees him win thanks to who? Oh, the wolf winter is coming. I like that. Please do post. Show me any pictures that you got. What your team names are. Love a team name. No egrets is winning it so far. So we're 2 questions in. Question 3 is... Oh, sorry if I get any pronunciations wrong. They are very hard names. What did Viserys, Daenerys' brother, Viserys, try and steal before leaving the Dothraki camp? What did Viserys try and steal before leaving the Dothraki camp? The sneaky, sneaky little bugger. And remember, if you've missed a question, they are all gonna be posted in the comments board. So if you miss any, or just give me a shout. I'm trying to read the comments as we go. Team House of Tune, I like that. What's your tune? Question 4. Who was the Hand of the King prior to Eddard Stark? Who was the Hand of the King prior to Eddard Stark? Good old Ned, remember him? Team with no name, I like that one as well. So question 4 was who was the Hand of the King prior to Eddard Stark? Question 5. What did Khal Drogo give to Daenerys on their wedding day? Question 5. What did Khal Drogo give to Daenerys on their wedding day? Jason Momoa. Can we all just appreciate him for a sec? What a lovely man. Lovely, strong, bearded man. Who's everyone's favourite character? Let me know. Mine's him or Tyrion, because you've got to love Tyrion. Who does not? I question you. So question 5 was, what did Khal Drogo give to Daenerys on their wedding day? Question 6 is, what was the name of Arya's direwolf? What was the name of Arya's direwolf? Tyrion, Team Tyrion. Love Tyrion. Ooh, someone likes Robb Stark the best. I mean, he's a very handsome man as well. But my heart's with Jason, with Khal Drogs. Question 6 was, what was the name of Arya's direwolf? Question 7. What position was Jon Snow first assigned after swearing the oath of the Night's Watch? What position was Jon Snow first assigned after swearing the oath of the Night's Watch? And we're moving on to question 8. What did Ser Jorah say when he saw the dragon eggs hatched and Daenerys unburnt? What did Ser Jorah say when he saw the dragon eggs had hatched and Daenerys unburnt? He's a creepy character, isn't he? Likes Dany a bit too much, doesn't he? And if you are just joining us, we are doing a Game of Thrones quiz for the NHS. So click the link. Let's get those donations in. If you are playing, that would be great. We raised £156 last week. Let's see if we can match that. If not, beat it. That would be amazing. So question 8 was, what did Ser Jorah say when he saw the dragon eggs had hatched and Daenerys unburnt? Question 9. Who was the first character to slap Joffrey? He got many slaps throughout many seasons. But who was the first character to slap Tyrion? No, slap Joffrey. It's because I'm reading all of your comments saying Tyrion's your favourite character. Got Tyrion on the brain. Who's the first character to slap Joffrey? If he's anybody's favourite character, you need to leave. What a horrible, horrible young man. Who's the first character to slap Joffrey? And question 10, the last question of this round of season 1 is, what was Robert Baratheon's weapon of choice? What was Robert Baratheon's weapon of choice? What was Robert Baratheon's weapon of choice? And that is the end of round 1. We're flying through it. How many teams have we got? I think I've had 3 team names so far. If you can think of any other Game of Thrones puns. Brienne of Tarts, you know, that could be a good one. I'd join that team. I'm going to give you a few moments to go over your answers. If you need me to repeat any, just let me know. They are all in the comments board. And we'll go over the answers after round 2, which is coming up. So cast your mind back to season 2 of Game of Thrones. Because all the seasons kind of merge into one for me. Thinking of all the questions and stuff, I was like, is that season 1 or season 3? I don't know. But hopefully you do. How did you do on that round? Easy, hard? And remember, those of you who've just joined, we are doing this Game of Thrones quiz this evening to raise money for the NHS. So hit that love button, share this post, get as many people watching and raising money for the NHS as we can, because they do a stellar job and risking their lives to save lots and lots of people. So let's see if we can push the donations to over 200. Someone didn't watch season 2 or season 1. I don't understand. Get out. When you do the Game of Thrones quiz, you win or you die. Are we ready for season 2 and round 2? And I'm going to kick off with question 1, which is, what was Cersei's nickname for Sansa? What was Cersei's nickname for Sansa? I'm going to channel all my Cersei at you now. Because I look nothing like her, but... Is anyone else dressed up? I want to see a Night King. Who's smurfed up for the Night King? Question number 1 was, what was Cersei's nickname for Sansa? Question number 2, what highly flammable liquid does Tyrion use against Stannis' army of ships in the Battle of Blackwater? So question 2 was, what highly flammable liquid does Tyrion use against Stannis' army of ships in the Battle of Blackwater? Hi to everyone that's just joined. We are doing a Game of Thrones quiz here. And we are raising money for the NHS. So if you do want to donate, go to our Just Giving page, which is in our quarantine quizzes page. If you do want to donate anything you can to the NHS, because that's what we're doing this for. So question 2 was, what highly flammable liquid does Tyrion use against Stannis' army of ships in the Battle of Blackwater? Question number 3 is, how many horn blows are indicative of White Walkers approaching? How many horn blows are indicative of White Walkers approaching? Oi oi. This is in the Night's Watch. Question number 4. What does Samwell Tarly discover at the Fist of the First Men? What does Samwell Tarly discover at the Fist of the First Men? And that is a location, by the way. What does Samwell Tarly discover at the Fist of the First Men? Question number 5. Who does Arya serve as cupbearer for when she's imprisoned at Harrenhal? Who does Arya serve as cupbearer for when she's imprisoned at Harrenhal? halfway through this round, guys. How are people doing? Is it easy, hard? Click the love button if you know the answers. And we're going to move on to question number 6. Which is, which two people are responsible for the marriage of Joffrey and Margaery? Which two people are responsible for the marriage of Joffrey and Margaery? And a bit of fan fiction, Margaery is actually based on... Elsa in Frozen is based on Margaery. Apparently every Disney cartoon is based on somebody in real life. And that is what Frozen is based on. I mean, she is beaut, isn't she? So number 6 was, which two people are responsible for the marriage of Joffrey and Margaery? Question number 7. What year was season 2 released? And bonus point if you know the day, because it is a very specific day. What year was season 2 released? And a bonus point if you know the day. All the questions are posted in the comments board, so if you've missed any, just scroll back and you'll be able to find it. Question 7 was, what year was season 2 released? And a bonus point if you know the day. All you hardcore fans out there might know the day. So question 7 was, what year was season 2 released? Question number 8. Which member of the Night's Watch does Jon Snow kill to earn the trust of the Wildlings? Which member of the Night's Watch does Jon Snow kill in order to earn the trust of the Wildlings? And I want full names. Full names or you're not a true fan. Which member of the Night's Watch does Jon Snow kill in order to earn the trust of the Wildlings? Two more questions left of round 2 in this Game of Thrones quiz. And we're going to move on to question 9, which is, which city is ruled by the 13 and is the place Daenerys spends most of this season? Which city is ruled by the 13 and is the place Daenerys spends most of this season? And question number 10, what is the last image you see in the final episode of this season? What is the last image you see in the final episode of this season? What's happening? Where are we? It's early days. What is the last image you see in the final episode of this season? And that is the end of round 2. So we're going to go over the answers of season 1 and season 2 very shortly. But yeah, remember to keep sharing the love of this Game of Thrones quiz. Go onto our events page, get donating to the NHS. As little as a quid will go a long way. We're going to be doing this every week. So get sharing with all your friends. Who's doing this via a house party or an app or a Zoom? Who's got people together in one room doing this quiz. And who's doing it just with their household or by themselves if you're a Game of Thrones nerd like me. If anyone's got any more quiz names to throw at me, that would be great. Love a Game of Thrones pun. So do let me know if you've got any quiz names, because I might be giving some bonus points at the end. Right, we are going to go over Season 1 and Season 2. So if you're ready for the answers are going to be posted in the comments board as well. So we'll kick off with round 1. Answers, which are, question 1, which castle was the predominant setting for the very first episode? And that was Winterfell. It's a very easy one. Which castle was the predominant setting for the very first episode? That was Winterfell. Question 2, Tyrion's trial by combat at the Vale sees him win thanks to who? That is Bran. Tyrion's trial by combat at the Vale sees him win thanks to who? And that's Bran, because he volunteers for him. Question number 3. What did Viserys try and steal before leaving the Dothraki camp? And that was the dragon eggs. Imagine if he got hold of them. Viserys tried to steal the dragon eggs. Question number 4. Who was the hand of the king prior to Eddard Stark? And that is Jon Arryn. Arryn. However you say his name, good old Jon was the hand of the king prior to Ned. Question number 5. What did Khal Drogo give to Daenerys on their wedding day? And that was the silver. Or if you put a white horse, that'll get you the point as well. The silver. It's a good name for a horse. Khal Drogo gave Daenerys the silver or a white horse on their wedding day. Oh, can you imagine if you got a horse on your wedding day? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Question number 6 was, what was the name of Arya's direwolf? And that's Nymeria. What was the name of Arya's direwolf? Is Nymeria. Question number 7. What position was Jon Snow first assigned after swearing oath to the Night's Watch? And that was a steward. What position was Jon Snow first assigned after swearing oath to the Night's Watch? That was a steward. Before he got upgraded. And question number 8 was, what did Ser Jorah say when he saw the dragon eggs had hatched and Daenerys was unburnt? And that was blood of my blood. Does anyone know what that means? What did Ser Jorah say when he saw the dragon eggs had hatched and Daenerys unburnt? He said, blood of my blood. The creepy man who's in love with Daenerys. No, he's sweet, really. It's a bit creepy to begin with, though, isn't he? Question number 9 was, who's the first character to slap Joffrey? That was Tyrion. And I did not say it. But if you're a true Game of Thrones fan, you would have known that anyway. He didn't just slap him once either, he slapped him 3 times. 3 times. Because Joffrey's a little bitch. He was the first character to slap Joffrey. Was Tyrion. Question number 10. What was Robert Baratheon's weapon of choice? That was the Warhammer. Warhammer. Sounds like a good weapon, doesn't it? What was Robert Baratheon's weapon of choice? Warhammer. And that's the answers to round 1. How did we do? You doing well? You a Game of Thrones nerd? And we're going to go to the answers to round 2 and season 2. Which are... Question 1. What was Cersei's nickname for Sansa? And that was Little Dove. Or you can have Little Bird. She refers to her as Little Bird as well. Little Dove or Little Bird was Cersei's nickname for Sansa. Someone got 10 out of 10. You are a Game of Thrones nerd. But we like that here. Question number 2 was, what highly flammable liquid does Tyrion use against Stannis' army of ships in the Battle of Blackwater? And that was wildfire. Blew up all them ships. He used wildfire to blow up all of those ships of Stannis Baratheon in the Battle of Blackwater. Question number 3. How many horn blows are indicative of White Walkers approaching? That's 3. 3, and you know shit's gone down. I can't remember what one blow was. 2 is Wildlings. Can't remember what 1 was. So 3 horn blows were indicative of White Walkers approaching. Question number 4. What does Samwell Tarly discover at the Feast of the First Men? He finds dragon glass. What does Samwell Tarly discover at the Feast of the First Men? Ooh, say that fast. That's dragon glass. Question number 5. Who does Arya serve as cupbearer? And that was Tywin Lannister. Who does Arya serve as cupbearer when she's imprisoned at Harrenhal? And that is Tywin Lannister. Question number 6. Which 2 people are responsible for the marriage of Joffrey and Margaery? It's a point each. And that's Peter Baelish, or Littlefinger, and Olenna Tyrell, who is another favourite that I forgot about. She is brilliant. Which 2 people are responsible for the marriage of Joffrey and Margaery? Peter Baelish goes to the council, and Olenna Tyrell just gets nosy in Margaery's love life and susses Joffrey out before allowing Margaery to marry him. So that was Peter Baelish and Olenna Tyrell. Question number 7. What year was season 2 released? And that was 2012. Many moons ago. Bonus point if you know the day. And it was April Fool's Day. Did anyone get that? What year was season 2 released? That was 2012. Bonus point if you know the day, and that was April Fool's Day. Question number 8. Which member of the Night's Watch does Jon Snow kill in order to earn the trust of the Wildlings? And that's Qhorin Halfhand. Which member of the Night's Watch does Jon Snow kill in order to earn the trust of the Wildlings? And that's Qhorin Halfhand. Question 9. Which city is ruled by Which city is ruled by the 13 and is the place Daenerys spends most of the season? And that is Qarth. Not Quarth, she originally said. Which city is ruled by the 13 is the place Daenerys spends most of the season? And that's Qarth. Spelling don't matter. I won't see it. If you got the gist, you get the point. Which city is ruled by the 13 and is the place Daenerys spends most of the season? And that is Qarth. Question number 10. What is the last image you see in the final episode of this season? And that is the White Walkers. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, marching. What is the last image you see in the final episode of this season? And that's the White Walkers. And we're getting a lot of loves there. Did people do well on this one? And those are the answers for round 2. How did we do? How are we doing? Finding it easy, hard? So cast your mind back to season 3 now, because that's where we're going next. Season 3. And if we're ready, we're going to start. Oh, I've got lots of sad faces. People not doing very well. Hopefully, I feel like it gets easier as you go because you remember the later seasons more. So hopefully you're going to do better in other ones. We're going to start with question 1 of round 3. And that is season 3. We're going to jump right in with question 1, which is, which character is responsible for chopping off Jaime Lannister's hand? Which character is responsible for chopping off Jaime Lannister's hand? I like Jaime. He gets better. I think he gets more humble when he loses a hand. Which character is responsible for chopping off Jaime Lannister's hand? And question number 2 is, what does Shireen Baratheon teach Davos to do? What does Shireen Baratheon teach Davos to do? And for anyone just joining us, we are doing a Game of Thrones quiz here. We are on round 3. We're doing this to raise money for the NHS. So if you go to our quarantine quizzes page, you'll see our Just Giving link where you can donate money to the NHS. Because that's what we're doing. Giving them more than a clap on a Thursday. We'll do a quiz on a Friday for them. So we are question 3 of round 3. Which is, who is the leader of the Brotherhood without banners? Who is the leader of the Brotherhood without banners? I mean, if you can get a full name, sure. I'll take first or last. Who is the leader of the Brotherhood without banners? Question number 4. With half of his army lost, Robb Stark decides to attack the Lannisters in which location in Westeros? With half of his army lost, Robb Stark decides to attack the Lannisters in which location in Westeros? Who's been paying attention to the opening credits with the maps? Might come in handy. Question 4 was, with half of his army lost, Robb Stark decides to attack the Lannisters in which location in Westeros? Question number 5. What is the name of the mercenary group that Daenerys meets outside of Yunkai? What is the name of the mercenary group that Daenerys meets outside of Yunkai? I know that's the hard thing about Game of Thrones quizzes, is the names. You're like, I can see him in my head, but I don't know his name. Question number 6 is, finish this quote by Tyrion. I am the god of blank and wine. Finish this quote by Tyrion. I am the god of blank and wine. Possibly one of my favourite lines in the whole series of Game of Thrones. Finish this quote by Tyrion. I am the god of what and wine? Question number 7. What position is given to Tyrion by his father when Baelish or Littlefinger is sent off to the Vale? What position is given to Tyrion by his father when Littlefinger is sent off to the Vale? So what position is given to Tyrion by his father when Littlefinger is sent off to the Vale? Question number 8. How many daughters and granddaughters does Walder Frey introduce to Robb Stark after he declines to marry any of them in episode 9? How many daughters and granddaughters does Walder Frey introduce to Robb Stark after he declines to marry any of them in episode 9? Because we all know where his heart lies. How many granddaughters and daughters does Walder Frey introduce to Robb Stark after he declines to marry any of them in episode 9? And question number 9. What does Catelyn Stark see at the Red Wedding that tells her it's a setup? What does Catelyn Stark see at the Red Wedding that tells her it's a setup? But of course it's too late. The Red Wedding was a great episode. Is that anyone's favourite episode? I know what mine is. Red Wedding's close. What does Catelyn Stark see at the Red Wedding that tells her that this is a setup? And question number 10. Who is the first to die at the Red Wedding? Many do. But who is the first to die at the Red Wedding? Thanks. Do you like my crown? It is actually a belt that I've made makeshift into a crown. I'm not Circe, I'm Sir D. That doesn't make. I don't like Sir D. What can my name be? Sir B? Cersei's evil twin with a belt crown. So that was the end of season 3. How did we all do? I feel like that was a pretty tough round, I think. But it is gonna get a bit easier as we go. Remember, all of the questions are posted in the comments board. So if you miss any, just scroll up and you'll be able to see. I'll give you a few moments to go over any of those. Do you know what? This dragon egg is just sitting here looking at me. Really want it. It's going to be my treat when it's all over. We are going to move on to season 4. Channel season 4 into your brains, because this round is going to be all about season 4. And we're going to start off with question 1. Again, excuse my pronunciation of any names. Question number 1 is: Prince Oberyn arrives in King's Landing in this season, but where is his home? Prince Oberyn arrives in King's Landing in this season, but where is his home? Think to those opening credits. Think of the map. Question number 2 is: who was pushed through the moon door after trying to throw Sansa out of it? Question number 2 is: who is pushed through the moon door after trying to throw Sansa out of it? I'm not going to do an accent round. I need more wine for that. Question number 2. Who was pushed through the moon door after trying to throw Sansa out of it? Question number 3 is which city is captured by Daenerys over episodes 3 and 4? Which city is captured by Daenerys over episodes 3 and 4? Know your cities. We're going to go over the answers to rounds 3 and 4 after this. We're going to move on to question 4. Missandei describes to Grey Worm the day she was captured, but how old was she when this happened? Question number 4. Missandei describes to Grey Worm the day she was captured, but how old was she when this happened? And after this round, we're going to be halfway through. Question number 5. Tormund and Ygritte meet up with another tribe called the Thenns. But what do they soon find out about this tribe when they arrive at their camp? Tormund and Ygritte meet up with another tribe called the Thenns. But what do they soon find out about this tribe when they arrive at their camp? It's not nice. Remember to keep liking or loving the post if you know the answer. You've all gone quiet on me. And if you've missed any questions, they are all being posted. Question number 6. Jaime Lannister gave Brienne of Tarth 3 things before sending her to find Sansa Stark. What are these 3 things? Jaime Lannister gave Brienne of Tarth 3 things before sending her to find Sansa Stark. But what are these 3 things? Oh, try saying Brienne of Tarth 3. Tarth 3. Sloth. Jaime Lannister gave Brienne of Tarth 3 things before sending her to find Sansa Stark. What are these 3 things? Point for each. 3 points up for grabs. And remember, if you are joining in on this quiz, we'd love for you to go to our Just Giving page and donate to the NHS. Whatever you like, whatever you can, would be so much appreciated, because they are doing so much for us in this really awful time. Feels like a Game of Thrones episode, doesn't it? Or a season. It's going on so long. So Jaime Lannister gave Brienne of Tarth 3 things before sending her to find Sansa. What are these 3 things? Question number 7. When Jon Snow asks his brothers who will go up north with him to avenge the late commander, who stands up first? When Jon Snow asks his brothers who will go up north with him to avenge the late commander, who stands up first? Before they all do, before they're all little sheep and they all stand up, who stands up first? So question 7, when Jon Snow asks his brothers who will go up north with him to avenge the late commander, who stands up first? And question number 8, which former lover of Tyrion testifies against him? Which former lover of Tyrion testifies against him? Sad times. Don't love anyone. If you're in Game of Thrones. Which former lover of Tyrion Lannister testifies against him? Do you know what? I don't look like Circe. I absolutely look like Justin Bieber. Never get my hair cut short. Keeping it long. Don't want to be peeps. Question 8. Which former lover of Tyrion Lannister testifies against him? Question 9. How many arrows does Ygritte hit Jon Snow with? See? Don't love anyone. How many arrows does Ygritte hit Jon Snow with? I'm not a brunette Circe. I'm Cersei's evil twin. Sir B. Question number 9. How many arrows does Ygritte hit Jon Snow with? And question number 10. Who is the last person to be killed in season 4? Question number 10 is who is the last person to be killed in season 4? And that is the end of round 4. And I'll give you a few moments to go over them. Someone's spamming up the comments board with wrong answers. At least it's not the right answers. No one do that. Or you will die under Cersei's reign. So I'll give you a few moments. Top up your wine, your beer, whatever you're drinking. Or your water. You're being sensible. We are going to be doing this every week, so give us your recommendations. Let us know what quiz you want to see next. We did a poll last time. Star Wars was in it. Or Game of Thrones. You chose Game of Thrones. So that's what we're doing. Might do another poll soon. Oh, people are on the wine. Speaking of wine, I need to top up. So we've just finished season 4. For anyone just joining us. We are halfway through this quiz. And we're just about to go through the answers of rounds 3 and 4. And we are doing this for the NHS. So if you want to go to our Just Giving page, please donate. We really want to get over £200 this evening. We are at 156 at the moment. Oh, we've got lots of recommendations for the next quizzes. That's a good thing. We'll probably get to do them all. Who knows how long this lockdown's going to go on, but we are going to be here every single week bringing you quizzes. So we're going to go through the answers to rounds 3 and 4 if we're all ready. How do you think you all did? Well, so here we go. Question 1 of round 3 was bloop, 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 I cannot speak, I've had too much wine. Which character is responsible for chopping off Jaime Lannister's hand? And that was Locke. Locke did it. Locke cut off Jaime Lannister's hand, had him under lock and key. What a dick. Chopped off Jaime Lannister's hand was Locke. Question number 2. What does Shireen Baratheon teach Davos to do? Teaches him to read. Davos can't read. So Shireen Baratheon teaches him. Question number 3 was who was the leader of the Brotherhood without banners? And that was Beric Dondarrion. I think I'm saying that right. Who is the leader of the Brotherhood without banners? And that's Beric Dondarrion. Question number 4. With half of his army lost, Robb Stark decides to attack the Lannisters in which location in Westeros? And that was Casterly Rock. Robb Stark decides to attack the Lannisters in Casterly Rock. Question number 5 is what is the name of the mercenary group that Daenerys meets outside of Yunkai? And that is the Second Sons. And let me tell you, one of those sons, pretty decent. Can't remember his name. What is the name of the mercenary group that Daenerys meets outside of Yunkai? And that is the Second Sons. Question number 6 is finish this quote by Tyrion. I am the god of blank and wine. And that is I am the god of tits and wine. Tits is the right answer. That is the best quote in the whole of the series. Love it. So finish the quote by Tyrion, which is I am the god of tits and wine. What a great god to be. Question number 7 is what position is given to Tyrion by his father when Baelish is sent off to the Vale? And that is Master of Coin. Tyrion is given the position Master of Coin by Tywin Lannister. Question number 8, how many daughters and granddaughters does Walder Frey introduce to Robb Stark after he declines to marry any of them in episode 9? Was 12. He offered them 12 lovely ladies, declined them all. How many daughters and granddaughters does Walder Frey introduce to Robb Stark? And that was 12. Question number 9 is what does Catelyn Stark see at the Red Wedding that tells her it's a setup? She sees that Roose Bolton is wearing chainmail. Obviously, if you're wearing chainmail, you're preparing for a battle and not going to a wedding. How are you going to dance in that? Roose Bolton is wearing chainmail, and that's how Catelyn Stark knows that the Red Wedding is a setup. Question number 10, who's the first to die at the Red Wedding? And that is Talisa Stark. Sad times. Good episode though, wasn't it? Who's the first to die at the Red Wedding? Was Talisa Stark. And that's the end of round 3. How did we do on that one? Anyone getting full marks? And we're going to go straight on to marking season 4 before moving on to season 5. So get thinking about season 5 and what happened in that season. And I'm going to go through the answers to round 4. So question 1 is Prince Oberyn arrives in King's Landing in this season, but where is his home? And his home is in Dorne. Prince Oberyn arrives in King's Landing in this season, but his home is in Dorne. Question number 2, who's pushed through the moon door after trying to throw Sansa out of it? And that is Lysa Arryn. Arryn? Never know how you say that surname. Lysa. Either or. Who's pushed through the moon door after trying to throw Sansa out of it? And that's Lysa Arryn. Question number 3, which city is captured by Daenerys over episodes 3 and 4? And that is Meereen. Daenerys captures the city of Meereen. Question number 4, I think we're on. Yeah, number 4. Missandei describes to Grey Worm the day she was captured. How old was she? She was 5. Sad thing to happen when you're 5. Missandei describes to Grey Worm the day she was captured. She was 5 when this happened. Question number 5. Tormund and Ygritte meet up with another tribe called the Thenns. What do they soon find out about this tribe when they arrive at their camp? They find out they're cannibals. They're eating people. Tormund and Ygritte meet up with another tribe called the Thenns. What do they find out about them? They find out that they are cannibals. Gross. Question number 6. Jaime Lannister gave Brienne of Tarth 3 things before sending her to find Sansa Stark. These three things are a sword. Does anyone know the sword's name? I'll give you another point if you do. Gave her a sword, gave her armour, and gave her a squire, which is Podrick. So those were the 3 things that Brienne of Tarth was given. A sword, armour, and a squire. Or if you've got Podrick, you can have a point. Not fussy. Same thing. Question number 7. When Jon Snow asks his brothers who will go up north with him to avenge the late commander, who stands up first? And that's Gren. Who is Gren, you ask? He's just someone in the Night's Watch. Gren, no one cares about you. That's why he stood up first. He was like, please, Jon, love me. So when Jon Snow asks his brothers who'll go up north, Gren stands up first. Question number 8. Which former lover of Tyrion Lannister testifies against him? And that's Shae. Shae is the former lover of Tyrion Lannister. Testifies against him. Question number 9. How many arrows does Ygritte hit Jon Snow with? The answer is 3. 3 arrows. Straight to the heart. No. But she does hit him with 3 arrows. Question number 10. Who's the last person to be killed in season 4? Is Tywin Lannister. In a compromising position. The last person to be killed in season 4 is Tywin. By Tyrion. Killing his dad. What you gotta do? Right, that is the end of season 4. How did we all do? What are your scores? Before we move on to round 5, which is season 5. And we're getting to my 2 favourite seasons, which is season 5 and season 6. And they are my favourite. Loads of good stuff happens. So Castramine's back again. Season 5, we're on. And we're going to kick off with question 1, which is, the first episode opens with a scene from the past with 2 girls seeking out a witch. Whose memory was this? The first episode opens with a scene from the past with 2 girls seeking out a witch. Whose memory was this? Question number 2. Who does Sansa marry in the middle of this season? Question number 2. Who does Sansa marry in the middle of this season? Full name, please. It's a bit of an easy one. Who does Sansa marry in the middle of the season? Question number 3. Is Arya assumes the identity of an oyster merchant. Named what? Arya assumes the identity of an oyster merchant. What is her name? She's got many faces. What's this one? She's an oyster merchant. What's her name? Question number 4. How did Selyse Baratheon die? How did Selyse Baratheon die? I think I'm saying that right? Selyse? That's right, isn't it? How did Selyse Baratheon die? Question number 5. Who did Circe send to Braavos to negotiate terms with the Iron Bank? Who did Circe send to Braavos to negotiate terms with the Iron Bank? I'll channel all my Circe vibes to you for this question, because Game of Thrones names are hard. If you're getting them, kudos. Who did Circe send to Braavos to negotiate terms with the Iron Bank? Question number 6. Who does Brienne tells... what? Sorry, not who. Not another name. Question number 6 is, what does Brienne tell Sansa to do to signal for help? What does Brienne of Tarth tell Sansa to do to signal for help? Brienne's another good character, man. There's so many. She's also one of my favourites. Who loves Brienne? Question number 7. How many times do we hear the Night's Watch say, "For the Watch," before Jon Snow dies? Before they all stab him. How many times do we hear the Night's Watch say, "For the Watch," before Jon Snow dies? Those traitors, man. How many times do we hear the Night's Watch say, "For the Watch," before Jon Snow dies? Question number 8 of this round is, what are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called? As a group. The group name of them. What are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called? Not individually. They have a group name. Because who knows them all individually? Probably some people do. Not me. What are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called? That's a good word to say, isn't it? You got to say it like a northerner though. Bastard. What are Oberon? This isn't Midsummer Night's Dream. What are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called? Question number 9 is, Circe is charged with 3 things when taken prisoner by the High Sparrow. Question number 9 is, Circe is charged with 3 things when taken prisoner by the High Sparrow. What are they? Point for each. What 3 things is she charged with before she gets this stellar haircut? And no, I've just put it up. I haven't done a Britney Spears and shaved my head or anything. It's not got that drastic yet. Maybe in a few weeks. I haven't done that. But people do shout shame at me in the street. Question number 9. Circe is charged with 3 things when taken prisoner by the High Sparrow. What are they? Shame. Shame. Question number 10 is, which main character does not appear in this season? Which main character does not appear at all in this season? And we're at the end of round 5, guys. How are you doing on that one? Is it getting easier? You're starting to remember the seasons? I couldn't remember the first few seasons. They were so long ago. We are now at the end of season 5. And we're going to move on to round 6 very shortly, which is season 6. And my all-time favourite episode is coming up. And I'll let you know what that is. Such a good episode. You can probably guess what it is. So we're going to start with question 1, and that's season 6 of Game of Thrones, which is, what does the Red Woman burn as part of Jon's resurrection ritual? Oh, you've got to say that slow. That is a tongue twister. What does the Red Woman burn as part of Jon's resurrection ritual? I do have a goblet. I'm just so Game of Thrones this evening, it's unreal. I'm gonna get on my dragon in a minute. Question number 1. What does the Red Woman burn as part of Jon's resurrection ritual? Question number 2. Marjorie gives her grandmother Alina a drawing of what before she leaves King's Landing? So Marjorie gives her grandmother a drawing of what before she left King's Landing? It warns her, warning her that she's not a traitor. To leave, she needs to get out. Marjorie gives her grandmother a drawing of what before she leaves King's Landing? Question number 3. During the Battle of the Bastards, another great word to say, love saying it, I'm going to say it again. During the Battle of the Bastards, the Starks are saved by who? Who are the Starks saved by in the Battle of the Bastards? Gonna try and get that word into every question. During the Battle of the Bastards, the Starks are saved by who? And that, by the way, is my favourite episode of all time. So good. What's everyone's favourite episodes? Let me know. That is mine. I don't think you can beat that episode. I think I watched it about 4 or 5 times in a row. We are on question number 4. What is the name of the House of Tallies' Valyrian steel sword? What is the name of the House of Tallies' Valyrian steel sword? Oh, that's a few people's favourite episode, Battle of the Bastards. Such a good one. Question 4 was, what is the name of House of Tallies' Valyrian steel sword? All the swords have a name. Brienne of Tarth's before was Oathkeeper, if you all got that. Question number 5 is, what is Hodor's real name? It's not Hold the Door. What is Hodor's real name? Now I'm not this is based on the series, but in the book his name is different. If you know that as well, you can get a bonus point. Giving bonus points out all over the shop. If you know both his real name in the series and in the books, you can get 2 points. What is Hodor's real name? Just always reminds me of like people running for a lift. And they're like, hold the door! I want to be like, Hodor, Hodor. What is Hodor's real name? Question number 6. Arya is nearly killed by the waif after refusing to kill which actress? Arya is nearly killed by the waif after refusing to kill which actress? Question number 7 is how old is Lyanna Mormont? How old is Lyanna Mormont? If you need to know who that is the badass little girl. If you remember her. She doesn't get good till the latest seasons though. How old is Lyanna Mormont? Question number 8 is what does Daenerys rename Slaver's Bay? What does Daenerys rename Slaver's Bay? Because it's a pretty harsh name. What does Daenerys rename Slaver's Bay? Question number 9 is which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa Stark reunite? Which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa Stark reunite? And a bonus point if you know what the episode's called. If you don't know, you can have a guess at the number. Which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa Stark reunite? And a bonus point if you know the name of the episode. I think that's a hard one. Which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa Stark reunite? You can guess the number, or bonus point if you know the name of the episode. And question number 10, and the last question in this round of season 6 of Game of Thrones is what religious building does Cersei blow up in the final episode? What religious building does Cersei blow up in the final episode? And that is the end of season 5. No, season 6 rather. I'm losing count. And we're going to go over the answers to those 2 rounds of 5 and 6 very shortly. Remember, all the comments are posted in the comments board. No, all the questions rather are posted in the comments board. So if you missed any, you can go over and look at those. Or if you need me to repeat any, just let me know. But we're going to go through the answers to rounds rather. What's wrong with me this evening? Rounds 5 and 6 very shortly. I'll give you a few moments to go over those. If you are just joining us, this is our Game of Thrones quiz that is nearly over. We've got 2 rounds left, but we are doing this to raise money for the NHS. So get donating. Go on Quarantine Quizzes page. Share it if you like this quiz. Share it all over the shop. Get people donating. It's all for a good cause for the NHS. We're going to be doing this every week. So stay tuned to find out what next week is. And now we are going to go over the answers to rounds 5 and 6. So we'll start with round 5. And question 1, which is the first episode, opens with a scene from the past with 2 young girls seeking out a witch. Whose memory was that? It was Cersei's. Flashback to when she was a little kid. So Cersei's memory was that the first episode opened with that scene as Cersei is a young girl seeking out a witch. Question 2, who does Sansa marry in the middle of this season? And that's Ramsay Bolton. The absolute bleep. Who does Sansa marry in the middle of this season? And that's Ramsay Bolton. Question number 3, Arya assumes the identity of an oyster merchant named what? And that is Lana. Her name's Lana, the oyster merchant. God, who likes oysters? Not me, man. Not nice. The worst merchant ever. Arya assumes the identity of an oyster merchant. She's named Lana. How did Selyse Baratheon die? She was hanged. Believed to be of her own accord. But Selyse Baratheon was hanged. Question number 5. Who did Circe send to Braavos to negotiate terms with the Iron Bank? And that was Mace Tyrell. Who did Circe send to Braavos to negotiate terms with the Iron Bank? And that was Mace Tyrell. Question number 6. What does Brienne tell Sansa to do to signal for help? She needs to light a candle. Is that a candle? You can have that. Who does Brienne tell Sansa to do? What does Brienne tell Sansa to do to signal for help? Light a candle. 7. How many times do we hear the Night's Watch say "for the watch" before Jon Snow dies? And that's 5. 1 for every stab he got. How many times do we hear the Night's Watch say "for the watch" when Jon Snow dies? That's 5. Question number 8. What are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called? They are the Sand Snakes. I wonder why they're called the Sand Snakes. Does anybody know? Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters called the Sand Snakes. Or are they just like some pop band? Sand Snakes. Question number 9. Circe is charged with 3 things when taken prisoner by the High Sparrow. What are they? Point for each, remember. That is adultery. Can't say that word. Adultery, incest, and regicide. Regicide is when you kill a king. So if you've got kill a king, you can have that. She's accused of killing Robert Baratheon, her husband. So charged with 3 things by the High Sparrow, and that is adultery, incest, and regicide. Question number 10. Which main character does not appear in this season? Thank God, it's Bran. No one likes Bran. Hate Bran. Which main character does not appear in this season? And it's Bran. Probably because he had to go to school or something. Don't quite know why. But he didn't. He was talked about, but he didn't appear in this season at all. Bran. And that was the end of round 5. And we're going to move on to season 6. Answers. Question number 1. What does the Red Woman burn as part of Jon's resurrection ritual? That is his hair. Burns his hair. It's a bit like a polyjuice potion. If anyone did the Harry Potter quiz last week. Red Woman burns Jon's hair as part of his resurrection ritual. Question 2. Marjorie gives her grandmother Alina a drawing of what before she left King's Landing? She gives her a drawing of a rose. Marjorie gives her grandmother a drawing of a rose. Question 3. During the Battle of the Bastards, the Starks are saved by who? They're saved by the Knights of the Vale. Good thing, because there's a lot of people in that battle. Battle of the Bastards, the Starks are saved by the Knights of the Vale. Question number 4. What is the name of House of Tallies' Valyrian steel sword? And that's Heartsbane. What is the name of House of Tallies' Valyrian steel sword? Is Heartsbane. Question number 5. What is Hodor's real name? In the series, is Willis. Is his real name. And in the books, it's Walder. But they didn't want it to be confused with Walter Frey. So they changed it for the TV series. Because people watching won't know the difference. What is Hodor's real name? And that's Willis. Or Walder. 2 points if you got both. Question number 6. Arya is nearly killed by the waif after refusing to kill which actress? And that is Lady Crane. Lady Crane. Does anyone know the name of the play that they did? Arya is nearly killed by the waif after refusing to kill which actress? That is Lady Crane. Oh, we're getting people from all over the world, not just the UK. Hi to India. You stay safe too. We all need to. And we all need to donate to the NHS because they are so great. Risking their lives in this awful, awful time. Question number 7. How old is Lyanna Mormont? And she's 10. 10 years old. She's a badass at 10. So was I. No, I wasn't. How old is Lyanna Mormont? She's 10. Question 8. What does Daenerys rename Slaver's Bay? And that is the Bay of Dragons, obviously. She's obsessed with them. That's just reminded me of my dragon egg, my Easter egg. Which I really want, but I'm going to save it till the end. What does Daenerys rename Slaver's Bay? Bay of Dragons. Question number 9. Which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa reunite? And that's episode 4. And bonus point if you got what it was called, and that's the Book of the Stranger. Who knows what the episode's called? Not me. If you got that, very, very well done. Which episode did Jon Snow and Sansa reunite? That's episode 4. Book of the Stranger. Did anyone get that? And then question number 10. What religious building does Circe blow up in the final episode? And that is the Great Sept of Baelor. The Great Sept of Baelor. Baelor? Who knows? If you got anything like that, you can have a point. I've had a mine. Why not? What religious building does Circe blow up in the final episode? Is the Great Sept of Baelor. And that concludes round 6. Hit those love buttons because we're on the home stretch, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm going to look back at all your recommendations for new quizzes that we're going to do in coming weeks. So keep those suggestions coming. If you've missed any of those questions and answers, you can find them in the comments board. And go and like our quarantine quizzes page, share it with all your friends if you enjoyed this quiz, and see me dressed up as whatever is coming next. Who knows? We're going to announce it. I'm going to announce this week's after this quiz, so stay tuned. And we're going to move on to season 7 and season 8, the last 2 rounds of this quiz. Are we ready? And we're going to go with question 1, which is: which dragon dies in this season and is brought back by the Night King? Which dragon dies in this season and is brought back by the Night King? Which dragon dies in this season and is brought back by the Night King? Question number 2. Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? Great actor. One of my faves. I'll give you a clue. He's also in Moulin Rouge, which is one of my fave films of all time. Great actor. Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? It is not Ewan McGregor. That would have been brilliant though. I think it should have happened. Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? Question number 3. What is House Greyjoy's symbol that is seen on the masts of their ship? What is House Greyjoy's symbol as seen on the masts of their ship? Question number 4. While the Unsullied attack Casterly Rock, they discover that the Lannister army are trying to take which castle? While the Unsullied attack Casterly Rock, they discover that the Lannister army are trying to take which castle? Question number 5. Another great quote is when Tyrion says, "Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch." But who is he quoting when he says that? That's not Tyrion's words. When Tyrion says, "Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch," who is he quoting? Tyrion has some great lines, but he is quoting someone else when he says that. So when Tyrion says, "Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch," who is he quoting? Question number 6. Which house is completely wiped out in this season? Which house is completely wiped out in this season? There's no more of them left. There's been a lot of deaths so far. Does anyone know how many deaths there are in the whole of the Game of Thrones season? Seasons, rather. That's a good statistic to know. I don't know that. Which house is completely wiped out in this season? Question number 7. How much do the gold cloaks tell Davos it'll cost to bribe them to get into King's Landing? How much do the gold cloaks tell Davos it'll cost to bribe them into King's Landing? So the gold cloaks, if you remember, are on the shores of King's Landing, stopping people from getting in. So how much do they tell Davos it'll cost to bribe them to let them in? See, there's a few more people joining. We are on the penultimate round for this Game of Thrones quiz. And we are raising money for the NHS. So if you want to donate, you can go to our page, Quarantine Quizzes, go to our Just Giving page, and you'll see the link there to donate. So give what you can. We're going to be here every single week doing this quiz. Not Game of Thrones, we're going to change it up every single week. So let us know what your recommendations for quizzes are. We'll take them into account. Who knows how many we're going to be doing. So if your recommendation doesn't come around next week or the week after, may do in the coming weeks. So let us know. What question are we on? Question 8. Gendry appears during this season, but which season did we last see him? We haven't seen him for a while. Which season does Gendry appear last? Because he reappears in this season. When did we last see him? Oh God, girls, if you're thinking about cutting your fringe in quarantine, don't. This is doing my head in. Don't do it. So question 8 was, Gendry reappears during this season, but which season did we last see him? Haven't seen him for a while. We're going to move on to question 9. How many titles does Missandei reel off when introducing Daenerys to Jon and Davos? How many titles does Missandei reel off when introducing Daenerys to Jon and Davos? She has many titles. One is Mother of Dragons. How many does Missandei say? And I will tell you them all. And question 10, last in this penultimate round, is who made the drawings in the Dragonglass cave that Jon shows Daenerys? Who made the drawings in the Dragonglass cave that Jon shows Daenerys? And you know what? I don't like when people say Dany. I think it cheapens her. Dany. Call her Daenerys. Dany just makes it common. Sounds like she's down the old Vic. No, that's Dany Dyer. Daenerys. She will be called not Dany by me. Who made the drawings in the Dragonglass cave that Jon shows Daenerys? And that is the end of round 7. How are you guys doing? It seems like it's getting harder as it goes on. Maybe because I know that the later season's better, so I've made them harder than the first couple. You finding it hard, easy? Give you a few moments and we're going to move on to the last round of Game of Thrones. That's all I know. Season 8. The worst season of all. Why did it get so bad? We are going to start off with Season 8, if we're ready. Question 1. What does Tormund claim to drink that makes him strong? This is another great moment in the whole of the series. What does Tormund claim to drink that makes him strong? Tormund, I think, is an underrated character. He's another good one. Question number 2. Who said this? This goes beyond loyalty. This is about survival. Dun, dun, dun. Who said this goes beyond loyalty? This is about survival. Who said it? I'll give you a clue. Who he kind of channels what Brienne says. Oh, I've had a bit of a malfunction over here. Oh no, last round dramas. I'm just going to carry on. Question number 3. Who's the first person Sansa tells when she discovers Jon's true identity? Who is the first person Sansa tells when she discovers Jon's true identity? Yeah, you do gotta love Arya too. I warmed to her. Didn't like her in the beginning. And by the end she was a badass bitch. We like Arya. Who's the first person Sansa tells when she discovers Jon's true identity? Question number 4. Who beheads Missandei and what are her last words? Question number 4. Who beheads Missandei and what are her last words? 2 points for this. 1 for each. And then question number 5. What does it mean when the bells ring at King's Landing? What does it mean when the bells ring at King's Landing? Wouldn't it be great if it was just for ice cream? It's not. What does it mean when the bells ring at King's Landing? Question number 6. Which group charges towards the undead first in the Battle of Winterfell? Which group charges towards the undead first in the Battle of Winterfell? Season 8 was terrible. It will not be forgiven and it will not be forgotten. And we're going to speed through this round because we hate it so much. Question number 7. Who is the last person the Night King kills before being killed himself? Who is the last person the Night King kills before killing himself? No, he didn't kill himself, but being killed himself. I mean, who's the last person the Night King kills before being killed himself? Got 3 more questions left. Question number 8. What title does Bran get when he's crowned king? Ugh, Bran. What titles does Bran get when he's crowned king? No one wanted Bran to be king. Why? Why did it happen? Could have been anyone. Should have been Tyrion, man. What title does Bran get when he's crowned king? And question number 9, at the end of the series, where does Arya want to explore? At the end of the series, where does Arya want to explore? She's an independent woman. Going off on her way. At the end of the series, where does Arya want to explore? And the last question in season 8 and round 8 of this Game of Thrones quiz, the very last question is, we all remember the iconic Starbucks cup that was left in front of Daenerys in a vital scene, but in which other scene was something left in shot, and what was it? We all remember that iconic Starbucks cup left in front of Daenerys in a vital scene, but which other scene was there something left in shot, and what was it? 2 points. Apparently apparently it was Sophie Turner, who plays Sansa, left that cup. She will not be forgiven. So in which other scene was something left in shot, and what was it? And that is the end of this Game of Thrones quiz. Woo! Was that hard? Was that harder than the Harry Potter one? I think it was. But people seem to be doing alright though. It's hit and miss, it's hit and miss. We're going to go over the questions very shortly to rounds 7 and round 8 of the Game of Thrones quiz. And then we've got a little special announcement. So stick around. And if you haven't already, I don't know where we're at with donations for the NHS. But if you would like to donate for taking part in this quiz this evening, please go to our event page and go to our Just Giving page where you can donate to the NHS. We would very much appreciate it. And without much further ado, we're gonna go over the answers and let's see how you did. So, question 1. Which dragon dies in this season and is brought back by the Night King? And that is Viserion. Which dragon dies in this season is brought back by the Night King? And that is Viserion? Viserion? If you got anything like that, you can have it. Question 2. Which British actor plays the Archmage? Oh, can't speak. I've had too much wine, man. Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? And that's Jim Broadbent, the legend. Brilliant actor. Which British actor plays the Archmaester Ebrose? That is Jim Broadbent. Question number 3. What is House Greyjoy's symbol? And that is a golden kraken. It's a kraken symbol, isn't it? Golden kraken. If you just got kraken, you can have it. Feeling very generous. Question 4. While the Unsullied attack Castle Rock, they discover that the Lannister army are trying to take which castle? That's Highgarden. They're trying to take Highgarden. Question number 5. When Tyrion says, "Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch," who's he quoting? He's quoting Bronn. The bitch being, you know, a fortress, not a woman. Because that shouldn't take 10 good men. When Tyrion says, "Give me 10 good men and I'll impregnate the bitch," who's he quoting? He's quoting Bronn. Question number 6. Which house is completely wiped out this season? That's the Tyrells. They're all gone. Which house is completely wiped out this season? And that is the Tyrell. House of Tyrell. Question number 7. How much do the gold cloaks tell Davos it'll cost to bribe them to get into King's Landing? And that is 30 gold dragons. If you got 30, that's, you know, that'll do it for me. How much do the gold cloaks tell Davos it'll cost to bribe them? And it's 30 gold dragons. Question number 8. Gendry reappears during the season. Before this, which season did we last see him? And that was season 3, long time ago. He blossomed into a young man. Quite a handsome young man. There are a lot of handsome men on Game of Thrones. Maybe this is why I love it. Gendry reappears during the season. Which season did we last see him? That was season 3. And question 9. How many titles does Missandei reel off when introducing Daenerys to Jon and Davos? That is 8. 8 titles. She is Daenerys, Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, and the Breaker of Chains. God. Can you imagine saying all that just to speak to her? No wonder she shortened it to Danny. How many titles does Missandei reel off when introducing Daenerys to Jon and Davos? And that's 8. And then question 10, who made the drawings in the Dragonglass cave that Jon shows Daenerys? It was Jon about an hour before, just drew in the caves. Was like, hey Danny, look at these pretty drawings I did. No, it's actually the Children of the Forest. Who made the drawings in the Dragonglass cave? It was the Children of the Forest. Those creepy little elfy looking Children of the Forest. And that was season 7. How did we all do? We doing better? Did we do better with that round? Before we move on to season 8, what are the total scores? Are you going to add them all up? Post them here. Let us know how you're doing. Before we do the last ever round of this Game of Thrones quiz. I'm guessing you all did good in 8. We're doing good on that round. 9. Lovely. We're going to do the answers to round 8. So, question 1. What does Tormund claim to drink that makes him strong? And that's giant's milk. In that lovely song he sings. Right before they play Truth or Dare. And then Brienne gets down with Jaime. What does Tormund claim to drink to make him strong? He claims to drink giant's milk. Question 2. Who said this goes beyond loyalty? This is about survival. That's Jaime Lannister. Jaime says that. Who said this goes beyond loyalty? This is about survival. It was Jaime Lannister. Question 3. Who's the first person Sansa tells when she discovers Jon's true identity? And that's Tyrion. Her and Tyrion had a nice little bond throughout the series. The first person Sansa tells is Tyrion. It's naughty because you're not supposed to tell anyone. Don't trust her with your secrets. Question number 4. Who beheads Missandei and what are her last words? The Mountain beheads Missandei and her last words are Dracarys. Which reminds me, I'm so close to this egg. It's gonna happen very soon. Who beheads Missandei and what are her last words? The Mountain beheads her and Dracarys are her last words. Question 5. What does it mean when the bells ring at King's Landing? It means the city has surrendered. If the bells ring at King's Landing, it means the city has surrendered. Question number 6. Which group charges towards the undead first in the Battle of Winterfell? That's the Dothraki. The Dothrakis. Dothraki? Dothrakis? Dothraki. No S. Which group charges towards the undead first in the Battle of Winterfell? The Dothraki. It was really sad because they just get taken out in like a second. Question 7. Who's the last person the Night King kills before being killed himself? And that's Theon Greyjoy. Kills Theon. Or Reek. Remember those days? Reek days. Who's the last person the Night King kills before being killed himself? That's Theon Greyjoy. Question number 8. What title does Bran get given when he's crowned king? Bran. He gets crowned Bran the Broken. And what an awful title for a king, Bran the Broken. No one's going to respect him. Bran the Broken. Question 9. At the end of the series, Where does Arya want to explore? And that's west of Westeros. She wants to go west of Westeros. At the end of the series, where does Arya want to explore? And she wants to go to the west of Westeros. Create another map. Spin-off series? I hope so. But I hope it's not as bad as season 8, because no one needs it. And then question 10, the last question of this Game of Thrones quiz is, we all remember the iconic Starbucks cup left in front of Daenerys in a vital scene. In which other scene was something left in shot? And it was a water bottle left at Samwell Tarly's feet. And it's the scene where Tyrion was making his pitch for Bran to be king. Got anything similar to that? Lovely. So in the other scene where something was left, it was when Tyrion was making his pitch for Bran to be king, and what was left? It was a water bottle left at Samwell's feet. Tisk tisk. And that is the end of our Game of Thrones quiz. How did we all do? Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it wasn't too difficult. Let us know what quiz you want to do in the coming weeks. Post your scores, post your pictures, post everything, and let us know how your night's been doing this Game of Thrones quiz. My top team names are No Regrets, Team with No Name, and House of Tune, because they're the only ones I remember. So you both get all three get a bonus point for that one. Oh, you got the same as last week. That is spooky. Is that just going to be the same as always now? And I can finally have this dragon's egg. It's Easter, everyone. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely Easter. We do have a special week next week where we are going to have a guest host in. So stay tuned for who that guest host is, and we're going to do an announcement for them. But next week's quiz is going to be RuPaul's Drag Race. If anyone watches that, give us a love and a like and a share and let everybody know, because let me tell you, I've only just got into it, and honey, it is what has gotten me through this quarantine, and I love it. So that is going to be our quiz next week. Is going to be RuPaul's Drag Race, and we are going to be raising money for the NHS and also Stonewall, because, you know, you cannot not, because we're doing RuPaul's Drag Race and I'm so excited. So stay tuned, we're going to do loads more announcements in the coming weeks, and let us know what quizzes you want to do, or you want to see coming up, and we'll try our best to fit them in. We're going to be here every Friday, bringing you a quiz to raise money for the NHS and, you know, other organisations. Next week we're going to be doing RuPaul's Drag Race and raising money for Stonewall, so please join us then. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. Hope you all have a great weekend. Bye! And I don't know how to get off this.